going on, everyone? This is Fighting Words with Kevin Shells. I'm Shells.
Kev, A-Count Sports.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And this week we're covering UFC 281.
Adesanya versus Pereira.
Out of the greatest arena on earth, MSG. The Garden, Madison Square Garden.
House of Legends, bro.
House of Legends. And this gonna be another legendary card if these fights bring what they're promising. If this excitement matches the hype of these fights, it's gonna be up there with the rest of those legendary events that happens at the Garden.
A lot of big names on there, boy. A lot of big names, bro.
Yo, let's start with the first one. The lightweight championship.
Yeah, middleweight championship of the world, man. Adesanya, what's that? 12 straight middleweight wins. 12 straight middleweight wins. he did try to go to light heavyweight one time, but 12 straight middleweight wins, 7 title defenses, going for the 8th consecutive successful title defense. Looking like this is his era in the middleweight division. But
he's got to get over one hump. He got to get over just over one hump. This one hump. This dude who beat him twice outside of the UFC.
UFC.
Alex, my man Alex. I'm gonna let you take this one real quick, Kat, because I got a little quick things to say about it, but I'm gonna let you take it real quick.
Take it as in describe the fight, or you want to get into my prediction?
I mean, let's get it all in right now. The significance of this. Let me. I know I was gonna say but let's just throw this out there real quick. This is a very important fight in regards to Izzy's legacy right now.
Absolutely. Pound for pound implications. He's not
pound for pound implications. This is not. We're not gonna go through. You just said what happened to him when he tried to leave his weight class, and because of that, we had this argument before, and because of that, I still stand on it. The fact that he lost when he tried to move up a weight class, he's no longer pound for pound anymore. He can't. He lost in another
top 5. Five. What? Oh man, I can't wait till we have this show. The end of the year, folks. Let me. Before we say anything else, the end of the year show, we will be discussing our list for pound for pound.
But how can you still put him on the list when
top everything?
But
go ahead.
Pound for pound is that allure of he's undefeatable in another weight division. I mean, this is one of the significance of the incoming Islam Volkanovski fight that they're trying to set up. Volk said he's putting his pound for pound.
Are you saying pound for pound he's not in the top 5? Or are you saying he's just not number 1?
I'm saying he's not even in the pound for pound anymore.
Do you have 5 MMA fighters right now better than Israel Adesanya?
No, but that pound for pound is a different kind of list. It's a hypothetical list. Remember, pound for pound is saying if you were to put this gentleman in a different weight class, his technical skills would still outmatch anybody in that division.
Yeah, and there's 5.
And it's shown that he couldn't do.
You're telling me there's 5 people better than Israel Adesanya, pound for pound, based on your criteria. I'm so curious to hear these 5 names.
I'm about to come up with them right
5
now.
of them.
Okay.
5 of them.
I hit you with them right now. Volkanovski.
Okay.
Islam. May not. Yo, he's a serious problem. After what he did, after what he did to Oliveira, he's a serious problem. I have to put him in there. And like I said, they're all gonna fight each other. That's gonna be settled right there. Because if he does to Volk what he did to everybody else, you have to.
You know what?
He's about to fight the number 1 pound for pound guy in Volkanovski.
When we have this discussion, it's gonna be a real good discussion because I have a criteria behind my pound for pound list. And so you probably have your own criteria. I have my own criteria. So we're gonna let the people decide which one sounds a little. Because to me, resume is huge on that list. It's a big. If it's a pie graph, that's about 50.
But you know what it is, Kev? You know what it is, Kev? You know why that resume is so important? Because the reason why that resume is so important because you have to use that resume you have to use that resume because remember the pound for pound is a hypothetical title. So because there's no real way to test that theory out of his skill set in different weight divisions or her skill set in different weight divisions. You have to use a resume.
That's what
That's
I'm
the only
saying.
so
That's
so
what
so
I'm
but
saying.
that's what makes the
Resume is
resume
huge.
important. But once you decide to leave your weight division and expose yourself, you put that on the line. And I think that's what Izzy did when he left his division.
And
If
that
he
not and now there's 5 MMA fighters better than Israel.
I mean, no, in the pound for pound. You,
What?
you want to finish? You want to finish my? You want me to finish my list?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I said Volk. I
This is
said
breaking
Islam.
news. Yeah, go
Don't
Islam.
be surprised, but give this man some credit. Sterling,
All right.
this man rubbed his head. Sterling,
Yeah.
Amanda,
Okay.
one more to finish it. Ngannou.
All right. Is he on the roster? What, yo?
I mean, so because
he
it's
has
in
a
that, I mean,
yeah. Like, come on. Bro.
due to
What is the
injury.
criteria? What is your criteria behind pound for pound? I gotta hear this because my criteria, I'm gonna tell you right now, is resume, it's activity, and it's record/title. You gotta have a title. If you don't have a title, you gotta be next in line. Like, you gotta have a title. So
everybody named had a title.
That's
everybody
my
named had a
criteria.
title.
That's my
Everybody,
criteria. So
okay, but
what's your criteria? Go ahead.
okay. My criteria is title is very important. You're right. You have to be a champion because if you're not a champion, you're not the best in your division. If you're not even the best in your division, how could you even be in the pound for pound list? So everybody mentioned wasn't a title. That's number one.
Okay.
Your perceived dominance that could be applied to the different weight divisions, and that's the key word: perceived dominance. Once you no longer perceived as being dominant in another weight division, you can no longer be in the pound for pound list. That's the only reason why he's no longer on the list.
Wait. You said if you're no longer perceived as being dominant, you said in a weight class or just all around, like
in different weight divisions, because the idea is that if you take that skill set and apply it to a different weight division, if you were to be able to go up to that weight division, go down to that weight division, your dominance will still show in that weight division.
Okay, so
Izzy's dominance no longer showed when he moved up. Now, I guess he's doing good. He did great, but that perception was lost.
All right, so do you think, since you want to talk about dominance in a weight class, you think Sterling's been dominant?
He doesn't get enough credit because of how the fights went. No. I'm about to get the answer.
All right, go.
But he has been dominant.
Really?
I think as
one fight. 2 fights. I can name the 2 fights if you like. I know
name him before I say something. Name him.
The 2 fights is his last fight against Dillashaw and Sandhagen. Those are your fights. He displayed dominance.
I believe he displayed dominance during his first fight with Jan. That was a whole different fight compared to the first one.
The first fight with Jan?
No. I said the second one. I said I believe he displayed dominance in the second fight to Jan.
That was like a split decision, wasn't it? That's not dominance.
To
half the people thought he looked. That's not dominant.
But let's be real. Half the people always gonna think he lose because people just have a perception against him. He's very much the underdog when he comes in. He's the most unappreciated champion.
I'm be real with you. I'm very unbiased. And before that fight started, I told you who I thought was going to win. When that fight was over, I didn't know who won. I sat in. I said to you, yo, it depends who won the first round.
You did.
When I watched the first round, I was like, it was a toss-up. I'm not mad. I'm not saying anybody got robbed or anything like that. I'm just saying it was.
But here's the thing, Kev.
If they would have said Jan won, I'd have been like, yeah.
You didn't. You wasn't sure who won. When I saw that, I said yes. He did what he's supposed to do.
That's because you have a rooted interest.
I don't have a. I knew. Here's the thing. Didn't I say that after his during the pre-fight with him and Dillashaw? I said once he gets you to the ground, he's gonna make you pay. He has never went against that theory that I have about him. There's no one I ever seen him fight that he took to the ground and they haven't paid for it. That's all I'm saying. I don't think he gets the credit because people still don't perceive him as a champ. A lot of people still see him as a paper
No,
champ
he's
for
a
some reason. I
champ.
don't know
Well,
why.
I mean, people say
but
that, but I'm saying that I'm challenging. I'm not challenging whether or not he's a champ. He's a champ, legitimate, and he has 2 legit titles. All of that. I'm not disputing any of that. I push back on the dominance. I don't think that he's been dominant. I think he's been doing his thing, not dominant. He's been getting the wins. He's been getting the wins, and that's great.
I mean, I'll put it this way.
We talking about
I'll put him number 5. I'll put him number 5. I'll put him number 5.
And I have Izzy up there? Like, Izzy's, I don't think you take a resume into consideration.
No, I do take the resume into consideration. And in the resume, he has a loss.
Robert Whittaker, bro. If it wasn't for Israel Adesanya, we'd be talking about Robert Whittaker being somewhere close to Anderson.
Yeah,
right now.
That's
and
Izzy.
He smoked them, bro.
That's Izzy in his division. That's my point. But when Izzy went to another division, that dominance is shine.
So dominating in a weight class doesn't hold any weight. These other guys haven't tried it.
It holds.
These guys haven't tried
exactly.
it. Exactly,
they haven't tried it.
Let me say something.
Amanda,
because I don't know how you got.
Amanda's a double champ.
I don't know how you. She just wants to fight, but I don't know how you. I don't. Here's my question to you.
She redeemed herself.
How you got Ngannou up there before you have Cejudo, and Cejudo probably fought more recently than Ngannou.
Cejudo's inactive right now. So like, you know what it is? Cejudo's like to me. Look, Cejudo to me until he goes back in. Cejudo to me is like
Ngannou's inactive
due to injury.
No, that's not due to injury. He was talking about not fighting from before that.
But he did fight.
No, that's not no injury.
And he was injured.
Bro, they were in a contract. He's not even on is he under contract?
Yes. He's on pause. Bro, you know he's injured right now, right?
Bro. That's not why. Me and you both know that's not why he's not fighting.
Bro, until he's being offered fights, remember, he's still waiting on John Jones.
Crazy.
He's still waiting on Stipe. Bro,
he's not waiting on anybody, bro.
Kev, but it's not like he's turning down fights. He's not stalling the division.
He's not turning out.
Bro, Dana White would have had an interim title already if that was the case. Are you crazy?
You tripping.
He would.
Come on, bro.
Do you think Dana White is offering fights right now? He's saying no to them?
Bruh.
And answer that. Do you think
he's not, bro? If he's under contract,
Kev. Just answer the question. Answer the question.
What?
Do you think that the UFC brass is offering Francis Ngannou fights right now, and he's turning them down? I'm asking, do you think?
I have no idea what's going on.
I didn't ask if you know. I asked if you
remember about Francis Ngannou. The last thing I remember was before his fight, there was a contract dispute. He wants out of his deal. Mm-hmm. Nothing. I haven't heard anything contrary to that.
And you know what he did?
From what we heard, was doing everything to get the belt off of him. This is all facts. All facts.
It's all facts, but it's not the
pound for pound. He hasn't fought. How long he didn't fight?
It's not the complete.
It's like over a year now, ain't it?
It's not the complete truth, though, Kev.
Bro,
he had a contract dispute. He still went to the octagon with a busted knee. He still dominated the most, or what we thought was the most threatened opponent to his claim to the throne. We saw him come out with a whole new set of skills during that fight. Kev,
what does any of this have to do with anything? He hasn't fought, and not only has he not fought,
well, why would you call it? So you think? But you're gonna call out Henry Cejudo over him? Henry Cejudo is inactive for a whole different reason.
Well, why? What's the reason?
He walked out on his belt, and now he's trying to get back in.
Okay.
But he's not inactive due to injury. So it's not like
Ngannou's not. That's the injury is not the issue with Ngannou, bro.
Kev, Ngannou,
him and what's the name right here?
Watch this. Put it this way. If John Jones right now was saying, I want to fight Ngannou was playing games, I want to put him, he'll be off the list right now due to inactivity. But he's not inactive due to a contract dispute. He is injured, remember that.
He's injured? How long you been injured for?
He has a busted knee. He beat the dude with a
Okay, so, all right. So if he has a busted knee, then that's it. He can't fight. So why is he on anybody's pound for pound list if he ain't fighting over a year and he's injured?
Because he's still recovering.
Oh, we just saving the spot for him?
The UFC saving the spot for him?
You know. Nah, you're right. That's your criteria. So I'll leave it at that. I digress with that. That's your criteria. Go ahead. All
right, let's go back to this. Oh,
what?
Let's go back to this champion defense conversation, nigga. We could do this all day.
This is preposterous, bro. This is like
we could do this all day. Let's go back to Izzy versus Alex Pereira right now. You know, because if here's the thing, whether he's on your list or not, if he loses this, that's a big determinant if he stays on that list.
That's not saying anything. If you want pound for pound, you lose. You lose. That's Usman. That's anybody. You lose off the pound for pound list. You getting dropped.
But
Usman is in your top five. You're not a champion.
But here, what you're
not gonna be on most people's list. So I mean, that's so.
Not saying but you saying the same thing because Usman's a great point. Is Usman on your top five?
You just no, no. Actually, nah. I actually don't know. I haven't. I'm waiting for that.
How could he be when you just said you have to have the belt in order to be on that list?
Criteria. I know. I'm saying
that was the number one criteria. You backpedaling.
Not really.
Teach me how you backpedal.
I said no.
I ain't know the bike move you backpedal like that.
I said no, I'm not. What I said was you got Ngannou on your list. So
just get next with it.
That right there, you having Ngannou on your list makes your whole list just crazy, bro. So look.
It's crazy he's on the list.
My list, my criteria.
I put the heavyweight championship on the list, and it's crazy.
He's not even the champ. Is he the champion? Is he?
Did you just ask me if Francis is not the champion? Are you crazy? Did you hear Dana White strip him of the belt?
I actually don't know. I don't know what they do over there.
Did you hear?
I don't know what they. All I know is when, like we discussed when that fight happened, we said if Ngannou wins the fight, it throws the whole heavyweight division in the toilet. Because the rest of the people done lost to Ngannou. All the next people outside of John Jones done lost to Ngannou. I was talking about Tuivasa and we was talking about John Jones.
Next question: If he beats John Jones, would you then put him on your list?
Who?
Francis.
If Francis Ngannou came back and was active, I would put him on the list. He's not active. I'm not holding a pound for pound slot for somebody that ain't fighting a year.
So why would you call it Henry Cejudo?
Because I'm saying that Henry Cejudo, I'm like, he's just as, that's the same deal.
No, it's not the same deal.
Yes, it is.
That's what I'm arguing. He's not the same deal. It's not the same deal.
And he's more accomplished than Ngannou. Yes, it is the same deal.
It don't matter forever. It don't matter if he's more accomplished. GSP is more accomplished. He's not on this anymore.
Last time we spoke about this, Ngannou, the last thing I heard, I don't know, maybe you heard something else different. So I digress on that.
Mm-hmm.
Not digress.
What's the last thing you heard about? What's the last thing you heard about Francis?
The last thing I heard about Francis Ngannou.
Can I talk about if you're not champion or not?
Contract. He went out of his contract and he had no fights left on the dock. He was gonna wait the year out. It's that he had to wait a year out after after the last title defense. That's the last thing I heard. He hasn't
still in that year right now, right?
Probably. It's been dumb long. He had to wait the year out, and then he'll be they have to defend the belt once. It was some kind of clause. You got to defend the belt once and wait a year or something, and then you'd be out of the contract. And so far, he's been true to form to that. I don't know what you're talking about right now. This whole him being injured. I'm like, what? He has to wait. He has not shown any, not even an ink. I've seen him at boxing fights. I've seen him outside the ring at boxing fights.
How much? Just the one time with just that one time.
But that's with Tyson Fury, bro. But that's who he's been talking about. He's been talking about fighting nobody else. It was Tyson Fury.
It's not like he's pushing for that anymore, you know. He's been quiet.
I don't know that. Oh, the only thing I know is he's staying true to form. He has not fought in the UFC since his last fight, and we somewhere around a year. He's gonna be out. He's gonna be off the books in a second.
I mean, until he's been stripped of his title, which would then tell us that he's definitely out of the UFC and he's no longer going back. I know that the last I've heard from him when he was injured, and I have not heard any dispute from them. And knowing Dana White the way they work, if that was the situation, they would have already set up an interim title match for that belt. You know that, for that weight class. You know that. So the fact that they didn't even do that yet.
Maybe they're waiting a year.
You know, bro, how long did they wait to Kev, how long did they wait to set up
I hear what you're saying. They do it like this. They do it, bro. This I hate it. I don't like it. They do it, but I'm saying,
exactly. So why would they wait that long for him when they do it for everyone when they're not giving, when it's like they're using that belt to put pressure on the champion? They do it while the dude, they'll do it Who they did that to? Who they said the intro about?
Figueroa just now. Figueroa, they did it to Leon Edwards. They do it all the time.
Why you think they're not doing it to Ngannou? And
All
he's
I
the one
know,
who's
look.
rocking the boat the most out of all the dudes you mentioned.
Here's the thing with that. I haven't heard anything from UFC in regards to that. I just haven't heard it. I'm not saying history shows that they do that. I haven't heard anything from them. The last thing I heard going into that fight, it was a whole contract dispute. Ngannou made it perfectly clear if they not paying him, he's going to be off. I'm looking forward to being a free agent, and I'm not fighting. Not fighting.
And this is what I'm saying, Kev.
He made it perfectly clear. I haven't heard anything about anybody fighting.
You know why you haven't heard anything? Because he's on pause right now. It's not like they're negotiating with Trump. It's not like
all I'm saying, bro, is that he's been consistent to what he said. I'm not fighting again for a year. I'm taking him at his word.
Which is consistent with a fighter who's been injured from his last fight. Like I said, he said he was injured? He fought with a busted knee, Kev. Have you heard
Francis Ngannou say the reason I'm not fighting anybody is because I'm injured? Is that what you heard? Or you just heard him say I'm injured? Or you heard just generally speaking they saying he injured?
He said he's injured. He's not come back to he's I'm pretty sure he said that after his last title fight.
Are you sure are you pretty sure he said it?
Let me make
I didn't hear none of that. The last thing, all I'm saying to you, bro, I'm going on based on the last thing I heard. Last thing I heard was after this fight, I fulfill my contract. I'm gonna wait the year. I ain't fighting no more. I want to be a free agent. I want to test the waters. That's what we heard, right? I don't know about you. I ain't hear nothing after that. Pound list. That's your pound for pound.
Hey, all right. What's your top five? Since you're so.
I really don't know. I was waiting for that episode. I didn't really think it. But I'm gonna tell you another thing. I'm doing my top five too. I'm breaking it up. I'm breaking mine up from between men and female. I don't think the female division ain't deep enough. It ain't deep enough. So you could do yours and include everybody. I'm gonna break mine up. Like because I don't really think it's hard to really assess that for me. Like I don't think if I got a division like the lightweight division and all of them,
I kind of get that.
I can't.
I get that.
Assess that. With Valentino only got like 3 people in the division. What's the name got 2 belts, but there's nobody in the featherweight division. And it was just they created a whole division for Cyborg, and then Nunez beat Cyborg, got the belt, and there's nobody else in the division. And I'm like, I'm separating. So that's gonna be my pound for pound. But pound for pound off the top of my head, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I was saying if Oliveira would have got the win over Islam, I would have had him pretty dang high, bro. But let me tell you, my pound.
Yeah, definitely.
I gotta go Volkanovski. I go off the top of my head. This is not. Volkanovski won. I like Izzy at 2. I do. Here's where I agree with you. I agree with you with one thing. When we had the pound for pound list the last time around, you talked about Izzy's loss to I forgot this dude's name. Poland Power.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Polish.
When we start to do the pound for pound list, and you got a nitpick, and because of that, that's the reason why I pull him down. Because I actually like Izzy's
pulling out to 2 though.
I like his Whitaker win, bro. I think, son.
But that's a win in his division, okay?
Even when you watch Whitaker now, I'm like, he's lining up to fight Izzy again, and he fighting killers, bro. Yo, looking at it, bro, I'm like, his Whitaker.
Here's the thing, though, Kev. I could say that about Usman. I love his wins against Covington, but he's no longer on the list because he lost to Leon.
He lost the belt.
You're right.
Izzy didn't lose the belt. Izzy went to another weight class to take somebody else's belt, and it didn't work out. But anyway, I got Volkanovski at 1, Izzy at 2, 3. So my mind is cloudy right now. 3. I probably go with I guess I go with Islam at 3. At 4. This is off the top of my head. I'm just with the end of the year show, we're gonna really lock this down. At 4. You know, I really want to put Usman on the list, but I can't. It's hard to do that. But at the same time, it's hard for me to put Leon on the list because when we talk about dominance,
I want to put
Leon on the list. He was losing this fight inside out, bro. I'm like, it's hard for me to really go there. And then his resume at welterweight, I don't think it's that good either. Bantamweight is Aljamain, right?
Mm-hmm.
I might go Aljamain at.
He's on my list too. You was giving me a hard time with that.
No, you put him over Izzy.
Definitely.
And
you got him at 2.
I might go Aljo at 4 or 5. And now that I'm seeing what it is, now that I took the girls out the list, I'm kind of
see, that's why I kept the girls in, bro.
no, but I don't really it's hard at 5. I want so bad to put Usman on the list. I'm thinking of, and then Figueiredo, I don't think he separated himself from Marino, so it's hard for me to really put him on the list. Who are those not really active?
Not really. He's inactive at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess for the shorts, for right now, I'll go with I'll go with Edwards for the moment. I'll go with Edwards for the moment. I'll take Edwards for the moment.
Yeah, I can't wait for this count. I can't wait.
We don't see eye to eye with the heavyweight thing, and we don't see eye to eye.
We don't see eye to eye with a lot of things. I can't wait till we have a real. I can't wait for that episode.
Yeah, I gotta go Edwards, bro.
Yeah, so the middleweight championship will be defended by Izzy against the one Alexander Pereira, the one who's beaten him twice in his MMA career outside of the UFC. When he was just when he was pursuing his kickboxing career.
Glory, yeah.
He lost twice. The first fight was by decision. Which happened in China. And the second fight was by knockout, which happened in Brazil. And those 2 fights has a very, very, very heavy influence on how I see this fight turning out.
Okay. Cool.
And this is what I'm gonna say about this. I'm gonna say this first. I definitely believe this is gonna be I could bet my last dollar this is gonna be a striking match. This is gonna be an all-out striking match. Unless Izzy has been practicing grappling somewhere in the dungeons of New Zealand and he's gonna bring it out right then and there. This is gonna be a striking match. And I believe Izzy is the more elite striker, but Alex has that knockout power. So the question is, how strong is Izzy's jaw? Izzy proven he had a jaw. He had a jaw against my man. What is his name? The fight that I believe turned him into
Calvin Gastelum.
Calvin Gastelum. He showed he had a jaw. And now, let me go back to those 2 fights. Remember me say what I said. At first fight, I believe Izzy won that one.
Oh, against Alex.
I believe he won that one.
Okay.
I saw it. I believe he won that one. But like I always say, when you're a fighter, don't make it go to the judges. Because when you make it go to the judges, that is easy. You're right. That's definitely easier said than that. But what I'm saying is that whenever it's a decision that I don't agree with, I always cover myself by saying, well, you know what, the other guy just should have made sure it didn't get to a decision. That's how I always chalk it up to, like, yo, when you put in the judges' hands, you put in the hands of people who wasn't in that ring with you. You put in the hands of people who probably don't even know how to correctly judge MMA fights or know anything about MMA in the first place, and they could just come from somewhere else.
Okay.
You expose yourself to a lot of different things when you leave it to the judges.
Yeah.
And in the second fight, Izzy had him stumbling, and it was stopped. Alex had time to recover. Who's to say what would have happened if he didn't get that break or didn't catch that break? And I feel this question will be answered this weekend at Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
Just to sum, I just feel it's gonna be a 5-round war. I definitely believe that. I think Izzy's coming out. Izzy's definitely coming out on top as he's leaving as the champ. It's gonna go by decision.
Okay.
It's gonna be a 5-round
decision.
War.
Okay.
But the question is gonna be, how strong is Izzy's jaw? how strong is Izzy's jaw? That question, that one factor is going to determine the outcome of that fight. But I believe, based on what I see in the Gastelum fight, he has the heart. He's still the champ, regardless of all the one fights he had before. He's defending the belt. If you want the belt, you got to go for it. And that's
Absolutely.
what I feel. That's the difference between Alex and the rest of those opponents. Alex already has that confidence he could beat Izzy. I think the rest of the fighters, I believe they were hoping to suck Izzy into their fight.
Yeah.
But Izzy kept it as his fight. And that's what's the advantage he had over the rest of them. So decision, Izzy.
Nice. So this fight is an interesting fight for me. I think this is the most dangerous opponent that Izzy has fought.
Definitely.
He's undefeated since coming into the UFC. He has the ability to knock anybody out. I get the feeling, I would not be surprised. I've seen Izzy when he fought Vittori, and even lessons from he improved his ground game. Now I don't know if he would initiate a takedown with Alex if he got in close, but he has improved his ground game. He looked very strong on the ground against Vittori as well. So that's something to look for. I wouldn't be surprised if he had the opportunity. You know, you don't want to get too tricky with a guy as dangerous as Alex, but if you have the opportunity, because takedowns that'll get you around if it's not a lot of action. So
do you think Izzy's ground game is so elite that he'll take him to the ground and actually do something to him?
But the thing is I don't think it's about doing something to him. I think maybe if you can keep him there for a little bit. It's that you got to understand if you can score a takedown, that's you can get around that way. We've seen
guys. The thing though, I believe Izzy used his ground game against Victoria because Victoria already had a ground game, so he had to match that. That's why this was like it was more as a defense thing than him.
Going to it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But he looked good when he. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, he has been practicing. He definitely been practicing, but. That's why I'm hesitant to say he's going to use that against Alex because I don't think Alex is going to even.
But here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Has Izzy been in there with a striker that might be even better than him?
And that's true because usually
that's where you may try something like that. You know, this is what.
But that's why I asked you the question. Do you think if he were to try to, do you think he's going to do something after that?
It ain't about that. It's about, to me, it ain't about that. If he can, remember with Ngannou? Yeah. He got gone down. He didn't do a whole lot when he was down. But the fact that he got him down and kept him there, that's ground control. That's not, you know what I'm saying? That's more time Alex is dangerous on his feet. Well, that's more time he's not on his feet. So like when I look at it, I think that
But not because you know the thing with Francis and Ngannou?
Yeah.
Ngannou was a more skillful striker.
That may be the issue here.
I don't think Izzy's the better striker against Alex. I don't think Alex is a more skillful striker than Alex.
To you. I can't tell who's the better.
I still believe Izzy's the most elite striker in the UFC, period.
I mean, don't give Izzy his flowers now. You ain't putting him on his pound for pound, bro. So I got.
He's not on the pound for pound, but that's a very coveted list.
In this fight, what's going to happen straight up and down? I think I agree with you as in regards to. I think Izzy got better. I think he's been in the UFC longer. UFC competition is way better. This is the big leagues. Izzy's been there. He's fought so many different styles. He's improved since then. And even in those fights was razor sharp. Like, Izzy had him going, and he's improved since then. I think what makes this fight interesting to me is a lot of times in boxing and in an MMA when one guy is a star and he stumbles early against another opponent, it could be a stylistic thing. Maybe the guy stylistically might have tripped him up, and they don't end up meeting again a lot of times because one guy is where he's supposed to be, and the other guy, it was just, he just happened to be a bad matchup.
Yeah.
This dude goes into the UFC and wins 3 straight and knocks Strickland out, who's won like a 5-6 fight winning streak. That's scary. Yeah. So as good as this goes to show you the competition level Izzy was fighting before getting into the UFC, which made him that star coming in. So this is still a dangerous fight. I just think that Izzy is. I think with the top-notch fighters that he has fought, that he's improved. You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to carry him this fight. I think he has the confidence. I think he wants those wins back. I think Izzy wants to prove. I think Izzy wants to once and for all shut it down. I think Izzy in his mind thinks I beat him. I could have beat him. I let him off the hook, and I think Izzy's gonna win this fight. I actually think Izzy's gonna stop him.
Wow.
I think he's gonna stop him. So I got Izzy by third round knockout because I think what's gonna go on is I got third round.
You think he's gonna go to championship rounds?
I think you're gonna knock him out in the third round. I think it's gonna be.
Is this an upset special, guys? I don't know.
I don't think You think it's an upset?
No, that's not upset. The
way
he's going to,
I think we all respect,
but yeah, it's not upset.
We all respect what he can do. I think Izzy gonna knock him out, bro. I think he had him knocked out when they fought before. I think this time Izzy's gotten better. His chin is better. He knows what he's looking for. He gonna knock him out. I think Izzy could get knocked out too in the middle of it, but I just think Izzy's gotten improved. Even when I look at them from then and now, like Izzy's gotten better since then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I go with Izzy by knockout, third round knockout. I think he got a lot to prove. You're gonna see the separation. You're gonna see the separation.
I mean, I'm not...
On to the ladies, bro.
Yes, sir. Strawweight.
Carla, the Cookie Monster, Esparza.
This is my girl Weili.
Against Weili.
This is my girl Weili. You take this one, Kev. You lead this one, man.
Esparza. I like this is a tough fight to call, bro. I think Weili. I think it depends who can impose their will. You know what I mean, and get the other person to engage in what they want to do. I feel like if they're on the feet, Weili is dangerous there. I feel like if it gets to the ground, Weili can hold her own. But Carla is very imposing on the ground. Like she beats you up even when you're trying to get up. It's difficult to get back up. She's really rough and tough. Weili is rough and tough, but I feel like she's more versatile. I'll go with Weili. I'll take Weili on it, but look, this is so close. I'll take Weili. I'll take Weili because I've seen Carla beat by Joanna, young Jacek, and there is a way to do it. She was able, even though Joanna is longer and was able to kind of control her with the jab, I could see Weili handling herself on the ground and be able to be more offensive than at least Rose was. Whereas that fight was close, even though Rose didn't do much, she still had Carla's respect on the ground. I mean, while they were on each other, while they were standing. I think she'll be able to I think Weili will be able to attack, get more points, at least more favorable points while they attack, and be able to at least hold Carla off on the ground. So I got Weili 5-round decision.
You hit on the nail when you said the winner of this fight is going to be the one who is going to be able to impose their will.
Yeah.
That just sounds to me who's stronger. That's Carla's maybe the Cookie Monster, but Weili's the monster. You know what I mean? Like that's just like it. Striking Weili has it, and you spoke about the ground game.
Mm-hmm.
How long is Carla going to be able to keep Weili on the ground for?
I don't know.
That's my thing.
I don't know.
That's my thing. Like, yeah, she's imposing, but this is Weili's a whole different beast.
Yeah.
Weili's strength.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't even think Carla may be able to put it down, but Weili's gonna get back up. And one thing when you keep bringing someone down to keep getting back up, that's gonna be so draining.
Yeah.
And once your energy is zapped, it's just gonna take not that long for Weili to knock you out. So and that is the inverse of what you said with the first bout. Because you're saying 5-round decision. I'm saying 3rd-round knockout by Weili.
3rd-round knockout Weili. All right.
Because Carla's gonna try those takedowns, and I think 3rd round's a lot because I'm basically saying that Carla's gonna be shooting for 3 or 4 rounds and still have that kind of cardio. That's a very that's a lot of cookies. That's a lot of sugar to fuel that kind of cardio.
Yeah.
Man, I'm tempted to say 2nd round knockout. I just don't want to I just don't want to sound like I'm trying to disrespect Carla's skill set.
Right.
But it just to me, what I feel the strategy is going to be is going to be those takedowns.
Yeah.
See what you can do on the ground. But I just think Weili's going to get right back up.
Okay. I can't knock that.
And
This is a pick'em fight for me. I'm not a pick'em fight, but it's kind of hard to
it's
see.
very hard, but this I just see that's Caller's path to success.
Yeah.
Take down, control on the ground.
Yeah.
That's gonna take a lot of energy though.
Yeah.
And the more that energy is depleted, the more careful Caller's gonna have to be to avoid those strikes.
Yeah.
And those strikes are coming.
Blitzing.
Those strikes are coming.
Yeah.
So, man, you know what? Second round knockout. My fault. Second round knockout. Second round knockout. And I sound crazy, and it's something's telling me, yo, those continuous shoots. No, because it's those constants. I just see Carla going for them, shooting.
Yeah.
And Whaley's gonna keep her up. So when you keep her up, but when someone shoots, that means they don't want to be on the feet with you. Yeah. So when you're able to keep them on the feet, you're putting them that much danger. Right. So I just feel that's what's gonna happen to Carla, and second round knockout Whaley. Second round knockout. I'll set third round, but I'm making it official. I'm stamping it. Second round knockout Whaley.
You heard it here. We both got Whaley winning. I got a decision. Shell says that it's gonna end in the second round,
bro. Second round, bro. I'm so scared for saying that. I want to say it's like third, second. I'm gonna say second. I'm gonna stick with second.
You ain't get too much kickback from me on that. Now,
the people's fight.
You gonna say the people?
This is the people's bout right here. This is the bout right here. Poirier versus Chandler.
Yeah, this is it right here. I like this.
This
3 rounds.
3
rounds.
That's all we need, and that says a lot. Cause that means they're gonna go all out.
All right.
And they already know for going all out. You want to take this one? You want me to go first, man?
You go first. You go.
All right.
I know you going first. Yeah, you go first. You going first last.
First and foremost, I think this may be the most explosive fight out of all the bouts we just mentioned.
Yeah.
Because of both of their styles. Both of them are in your face.
And rep too. Yeah.
And rep too. And the grudge, the animosity behind this. Yeah. This is a lot of bad blood behind this fight right here. Even the Izzy, that's more of a legacy thing. This is just more about I don't like you, you don't like me. Let's just finish. Let's just settle this in the octagon. The thing with this fight though is that I believe it'll be precision versus power. The precision of Diamond Poirier versus the explosive bad intention. Say it again?
Sharp as a diamond.
Sharp diamond cut. Diamond cut. Versus the explosive bad intentional power punches of Michael Chandler. Iron Mike. If you look at let's talk about Chandler real quick. 4 fights in the UFC. 2 out of 2. 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
Let's talk about who he won against first. He won against he won against a Dan Hooker who was already on a downward trajectory. And he also won his last fight. One of the best knockouts in UFC. That's a movie reel right there.
Yeah.
He won against a Tony Ferguson who was also in a downward trajectory, who was giving him problems in the first round.
Yeah, that did happen. Right, yeah.
We saw the old Tony.
Looked like the old Tony.
We saw the old Tony. And the old Tony was almost made Iron Mike rusty. We saw the old Tony. The power of Chandler pulled through. He was able to pull out that magnificent knockout. It's not a fluke. That was practice. That was aimed.
Yeah.
He saw it. So he saw the opening. He took it. All kudos to him. Can't take it away from him. Can't take nothing away from him. But who did he lose to? His first loss, Charles Oliveira, who to me is, if it wasn't for Islam, he'd be running the division right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
And who else he lost to? A man by the name of Dustin Gaethje. Another fighter who comes with you with bad intentions.
Yeah.
Now look at those 2 fights. The first fight he lost, like I said, Oliveira was by knockout, second round. The second fight he lost, Gaethje, 3-round decision.
Yeah.
The irony, though, is that I believe Gaethje is a harder hitter than Oliveira.
Okay. Right.
Yet Oliveira was able to knock out Chandler, where Gaethje had to go 3 rounds with the guy. So what's the difference between Gaethje and Oliveira? Precision.
And size too. I think Oliveira might be a little taller.
Taller, but Gaethje has trucks behind his fists.
Yeah.
Tall or not, Gaethje's punches. Gaethje's probably the hardest between Dustin and Gaethje. I don't know who's the harder hitter in that division. Maybe I'll put Chandler in there, but those guys among those are the power punches to me. Yet Chandler still lost by knockout to Oliveira, but went 3 rounds with Gaethje.
Right.
It shows he has a chin.
Yeah.
He definitely has that chin. But it's the precision hits that be catching him. And that's why I feel the danger is coming from with Dustin, because Dustin has the power and the precision. He's the most, outside of Oliver, he's the most precise. Remember, he has a boxing background in MMA. So his hits are not just, they're precise.
Yep.
And this is where the danger is coming from for Chandler. Honestly, when we talk about who he lost to, Gaethje and Oliveira are top 5. Chandler is top 5 too, but it's got me. This fight's gonna answer a lot of questions for me. It's gonna make.
It sure is.
It's gonna let me know if Chandler is ever gonna have a real shot at the championship, or is he just gonna be a gatekeeper? Because the way it's looking to me with Chandler is that he was a top dude in the Bellator promotion.
Yeah.
But this is the UFC. Yep. It's like being a basketball player and playing in the European leagues and coming to the NBA. It's a whole different ball game. Yeah. So is there a ceiling for Chandler? Is it that he isn't able to break through the top 5? Because remember, we still got Durish out there. Durish is number 4.
Yeah,
I believe it's ranked number 4.
He's probably even higher now.
No, I think he's number 4. I think it's Oliveira's number 1. He's still the number 1 contender. Then I believe it is Dustin, right? Gaethje, Durish, and then Chandler.
Yeah.
So that rounds at the top 5 right there. And the 2 dudes he lost to is in that top 5. He has never fought Islam yet. He's never fought Dariush yet.
Right.
He's gonna fight. He's gonna fight. He's gonna fight Dustin now. So it's gonna let me know if this guy is really gonna be, if he really could walk among the top 5, or he's just gonna be a gatekeeper. It's gonna also let us know why the UFC, why Bellator is the Bellator. Remember, these 2 dudes are former champs from their respective divisions. This is what makes this fight very exciting as well. Like a champ from a former champ from the UFC and a former champ from Bellator find it out. So it's gonna answer a lot of questions. This represents a lot. I see Dustin taking it. The pause is not because of who I think is gonna take it. I'm trying to ask myself
how.
What round? Not even how. I believe it's gonna be by knockout. The precision of Dustin is gonna count. But because the most similar fight we could use
Oliveira
is not even. I was gonna say Gaethje.
Oh, Gaethje?
Yeah, I think that because Gaethje fought both of them, and I think all 3 got the same style. Even though Oliveira do have to walk you down style, Oliveira walks you down, but that submission is so dangerous that you gotta take that into account as well. Gaethje, Poirier, and Chandler, they're just coming to knock your head off.
Yeah.
So all 3 so to me, those are 3 good matches right there. It's like rock paper scissors. And how did Chandler beat Gaethje? It was because they did fight. It was through precision.
Right.
It was because Gaethje didn't have the precision that he had to go 3 rounds with Chandler. Even though
Right.
after a while, Chandler was just taking hits. That's what
He
it was. The
was.
last one,
He
Chandler
was.
know he lost, and he just made it a show for the fans at that point. But
Right.
then after all, it stopped becoming a fight. It just became an exhibition of like, yo, just it became just a exhibition of violence, which I'm not complaining about. But I don't think he could do that with Dustin. That precision, the precise hits of Poirier is gonna put him down.
Right.
You know what? That just answered my question. I'm gonna give it to Chandler. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get to Poirier. Sorry, I'm gonna get to Poirier.
All of that?
Yeah, it's funny. I'm gonna get to Poirier. Third round.
Poirier, third round knockout. No,
Knockout.
Third round knockout.
It's gonna be knockout. It's gonna be knockout. Third round
Right,
knockout.
that's what's up. You know what's so funny about this?
What?
I feel like you like Chandler, but you find yourself picking Poirier. Like, I mean, like you like him.
Yeah,
and I like
he's
Poirier.
a phenomenal fighter.
Yeah, and I like Poirier, but I find myself actually picking Chandler. I think,
Really?
yeah, I know. You know what? My question about Poirier, and this is like a continuing question about Poirier.
From the Conor situation.
It's a continuing question. I feel like after his last fight with Oliveira, it seemed like he was talking about going up in weight to fight Colby.
Yeah,
it seemed like he
was.
have a direction of what he wants to do. And
I think he did. He wanted to go into 170, but I don't think he was getting the respect he wanted. Because remember, he was trying to call out Diaz. He was trying to call out Covington, but no one was really giving it back the same response.
He didn't seem committal about that. He didn't seem. It seemed like he was just throwing names.
You think?
But he didn't seem committal to me. And to be honest with you, I feel like he doesn't have a direction right now. Like it's like when I took notes on this, I put a bunch of question marks. Whereas with Chandler, I was very definite. He wants to contend for another title. Like he said that from the jump. Even when he fought Gaethje, even though it turned into that kind of fight, I want to fight for the title. Like he's made it very clear that's what he wants to do. He feels like he has a lot to prove. He comes into this with a lot to prove. He's still proving it. You can still see that in him. I don't see that in Justin no more, bro. He's beaten the who's of that division. And now that division is changing. Now we got Islam on top, and the guy right underneath Islam is a guy that smoked him in Oliveira. So what direction is he going in? What's the motivation? Because if he beats Chandler, he's looking at these two again, or Dariush. I feel like this is not the best Dustin Poirier going into this fight. If it was, I would have your take. I would say he would have smoked Chandler, but it's not that. I expect, and then another thing is too, when this is something that was interesting. In a lot of Dustin's fights, like he wins a lot of them, but you don't see him get taken down a lot. It's hard to take him down.
Okay.
But when Oliveira got him down, even without a submission, he was like that flipped that whole fight. Like it was like Dustin couldn't fight from the ground at all, and it wasn't a submission situation. He just getting pounded out.
But do you think Chandler's gonna take him to the ground? He's not facing that danger with Chandler.
I'm telling you. I think Michael Chandler has an all-American wrestling background. Like when he was on the ground with Oliveira, he handled him. Bro, he almost choked Oliveira out. That almost happened, bro. And Oliveira is skilled like that. Dustin, I don't know. The thing about Chandler, bro, he will do anything. He will try anything. You seen that in the Ferguson fight. That kick came out of nowhere. When he fought Gaethje, like those overhand. This is a 3-round fight, and I just feel right now he has more to prove. Like he's hungry. With Dustin, I don't get that. I don't get that feeling from him anymore. Even in the Oliveira fight, bro, when Oliveira took his back, it was like he was just standing in position, not
accept it.
It was a point in that fight, bro. Once he hit the floor and he started to get pounded out, it was a different kind of fight, bro. And I don't think he's the same fighter, bro. I think if he's not. I don't know if we're gonna see the best Dustin Poirier anymore. Like I don't think we're gonna see that. I think at his best he's dope. I don't think he's washed in his skills or anything like that. I don't think his motivation is there no more.
Gotcha. But I think
I get that impression from him. If it was their best, I would have your take. I would tell you he was smoke him. But I don't think that's what it is. And I think this fight is Chandler is gonna. They not coming in there looking the way they looked against. You're gonna see things from Chandler Chandler's gonna come in there and it's not gonna be the type of fight that we think is gonna be where Poirier is just jabbing him and just using his reach and just pouring it on him. It could happen, but Chandler is gonna. Nah.
Let me just point this out though.
Like that. I got Chandler by a 3-round decision.
3-round decision? Okay. Decision. But let me just point this out real quick. You say that he doesn't have the motivation, and I would agree with you if it wasn't for this grudge, this bad blood between them two. I think that's where the motivation is coming from. How long does that last? Real?
You think that's real? How long would it last?
I've never seen Dustin. Dustin acted pretty much out of character with this guy. He's usually calm, cool, and collected. And
he seemed like he was walking a lot of stuff back on the RC, the DC RC.
Oh, he definitely.
What's his name was asking him, and he was like, "Nah, I don't think he was kind of." No. He was walking it back a little bit.
Definitely. This is I believe what happened. This is what I believe what happened. Dustin was on his high horse during this. Remember when he was the Golden Boy before he fought Chandler?
Right.
Before he fought Oliveira.
Yeah.
And he decided to fight Conor for the money fight. He was very much on his high horse. He was very arrogant too. Remember when Chandler and Oliveira went to fight for the belt because he turned out
spell hot sauce.
Not even that. He tweeted "Fool's Gold."
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
He was very. To me, it was like, why would you even? You chose not to fight for the belt. Why you even? It's like he was being dismissive of those two guys' accomplishments. He was being dismissive of their bout. Like you said, the hot sauce comment. He was dismissive of Chandler when he entered into the organization, and that's why Chandler didn't want to fight him in the first place. Chandler took that personal. Chandler never usually takes these things personal, but Chandler said, like, you're telling me you don't want to fight me. You're basically telling me I can't feed my family right now. Because you said you wouldn't fight me so I could earn a paycheck. And that's why Chandler said I would not fight you when he became on his high horse. Dustin took it very offensive when Chandler purposely didn't call him out during that great after he knocked out Tony, and he called out Gaethje, Oliveira, and Conor, and left out Dustin. Dustin took that very personal. So what I believe is that he was very much on his high horse, and now it turned back around and bit him in the butt, and that's a hard pill for him to swallow, and it's reflective on how he's being out of character towards Chandler, and I feel that's the motivation right now.
I hear you.
It's something that I'm not saying that he is right, because to me it was an arrogance in it. But I just feel he feels cornered, because he did try to go up a weight division. I remember he was saying he wants to go to 170. But here's the thing: he was calling out names, and nobody was saying something back to him.
Nah, they was. Covington was jumping on that fight. Covington wanted that fight.
Again, bro, remember we spoke about this. Unless they could do all the hot air balking, but until that ink hit the paper,
yeah,
I don't take none of that serious.
Matter of fact, Poirier walked it back. Poirier walked it back when it came to Covington. He did walk it back. I forgot the exact. Covington was jumping at the fight, but then Poirier he subtly walked it back. It was kind of subtle, but he did kind of walk that back.
Subtle, you gotta let me, cause I don't remember.
I can't remember. I
just from my perspective, cause from my perspective, cause this is how I feel what he's going through right now. You remember you said it yourself many times about Dustin when he's during his my red penny nights with Conor, when he just back to back fights with Conor, that money's coming in. He was up there, and I remember you always said that once you get that high, what's the motivation when you gotta go a step lower? So when you're up there, right?
That's what I'm saying.
And then
that's exactly how I feel about it.
Let's see if you could get a gauge into his mindset. You were up there.
Mm-hmm.
You was getting these kind of fights handed to you. Conor was asking for you.
Yeah.
You're on your high horse. very, very few fighters get a choice between a counter fight and a championship bout. Very few that I believe so. Like then right after that, you got another one right after that. Like you on top.
Yeah.
And remember, this is the time when people already said this is the real champ. He just didn't take the belt yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
This before we said nah. Oliver is a serious. This before we looked at Oliver and said, hold on, who is
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
we so think of that level of arrogance that the high horse.
Right.
Then to lose to Oliveira, the guy who was not supposed to lose to.
Mm.
This was your second shot at the title. Your second shot. To lose the exact same way you lost the first time. Rear naked chokehold.
Yeah.
I'll understand why you say, you know what, let me go to the next weight division. And then to go and call out names into, from my perspective, he was calling names and no one was taking him serious. No one calling him back out. So it's like an actress or actor who's getting back-to-back blockbusters and obviously can't get a movie role.
Okay.
You know? Mm-hmm. So you go back to the same division. Matter of fact, let me I skip this. I skip the part to it. Or you even go back to that. You go to 170, no one's calling you out. And then you got the guy who dismissed. The new kid on the block. Who you say you rather sell hot sauce than to fight. He's coming up. He had that monumental knockout against a legend in Tony Ferguson. And to have that, one thing with Chandler, he knows how to call out fights. He knows his post fight interviews be among the best.
Okay.
He's an entertainer. To have to me, that was the best call out post fight in to me. That was the best call out post fight interview in UFC history. And to leave, I know I'm probably being dramatic, but I can't. It's probably recency bias, but I can't remember a situation where a guy. It was like a wrestling promotion.
Right.
It's not like a wrestling like the dude was wrestling like he was calling out dude like yo, see you in Africa. Like he had the whole voice and everything. And to not mention Dustin, what would that do to your ego? All that is very damaging to his ego. I think all that.
And I think called out by Chandler. I mean, if you're dismissive of him, I mean,
no, that's my point. You were dismissive of him because you was up there, he was down here.
Yeah.
But now, when he's on the trajectory going up, and you can't even get a fight in the next division,
yeah,
that does a lot to the ego.